Hi there, my name is Chris Schulig, and this is my analysis of 3 TED Talks. I chose to do my first one on the TED Talk "Your Elusive Creative Genius" by Elizabeth Gilbert. Elizabeth Gilbert, as some of you may know, is the author of Eat, Pray, Love, and she talks about her personal battle and struggle with the pressure and stress of following up a book that had such a huge success. And she talks about how she dealt with it, and she shares some examples of ancient Greece and ancient Rome and how they dealt with things like that. And she also references Dobby the house elf. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you recognize that. And poet Ruth Stone, she references also musician Tom Waits. And she just uses some things they've said and some experiences she's had with them to show the different um, views that you can have on this subject, the different ways you can cope, different ways different people cope. She makes it very personable, and that would definitely not have shown through in an article. I would have possibly looked over this as an article, but the way she presents it, the interesting facts she gives, the references, the just everything, her emotion about it, her love for her art, pull me in, and it wouldn't have pulled me into an article that way. The next one I did was by Rob Legato. He is a visual effects supervisor on movies like The Titanic, Apollo 13, and Hugo. And it was called The Art of Creating Awe. He talks about um, trying to make somebody see something old for the first time, something they've seen before like they've never seen it before. And it was amazing. He showed so much behind the scenes footage, had so many visual effects, and he showed how, he ran into the problem with showing how to show liftoff on Apollo 13. He ended up doing it with extinguishers in the parking lot. It's amazing, the footage he shows. Also, um, it shows how he overcame other obstacles as well, and seeing how he did it amazed me as a filmmaker. And he kept himself humble the whole time, though. No matter how proud you could tell he was, he'd crack a joke and make himself humble. And it just drew me in, and the behind the scenes footage wouldn't have been in an article. You never would have seen any of that. So it would have been just him explaining what he did, which you can find anywhere on the internet. It's not the way he showed it with the footage and his view is what really pulled me in. The third one I did was By the Way of Parenting. I'm a husband and a father, and um, this one interested me in that sense. It's by Rufus Griscom and Alyssa Volkman. They are the co-founders of Babbel.com, popular website. It's called Let's Talk Parenting Taboos. They use a lot of their own references and a lot of pictures for visual effects, some graphs for visual effects, and they have a great camaraderie on stage. Just the way they talk about the taboos, the way they talk about their life, you see the joy they've had in their life. You see that they've had problems. They've had to deal with a lot of things with children and themselves, and you see that camaraderie, and it makes you want to draw in closer to them as presenters. And I loved it. It was great. It was quite funny at times, and it was highly recommended if you have children or are married or are planning to have children even. And that emotion would not have shown through in an article, because you can't put emotion into an article as much as you try and you want to. You can't have it like you can in a video. 10 qualities that I pulled out of these that really send it home for me for why these presenters were great. Make them think. This is my first one. Make your audience think. Elizabeth Gilbert did this very well with her right around 6 minutes in her TED Talk, with how they view a creative genius now and how they viewed a creative genius in ancient Rome and ancient Greece. It's amazing. I really recommend you watch it. It's for any artist of any music, film, books, drawing, all of it. It's amazing. Use personal experience. Big one for me, I think. If you can be personal to an audience, personable to an audience, if they can relate to you, you won. That's half the battle, in my opinion. Elena Gilbert did this great. She showed a very personal example from her father at about 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. And then Rob Legato, his whole thing was visual effects and his personal experiences from within those. You see him in the old behind the scenes footage, and he's explaining his experiences, what he felt, what he had, how things went for him. It was amazing. Eye contact. You must always keep eye contact with your audience, as much as possible at least, because if you're looking at them, they're looking at you. If you're staring off into space, and I'm just talking to you, you don't want to see the side of my face. You want to see me. I'm talking to you. That's what you want to see. And all of them did that. They were all contacted with their audience, looking right ahead. Rufus and Alyssa together, eye contact with each other. Use comedy as much as possible. If they're laughing, they're paying attention to you because they want to laugh some more. People love to laugh. It's human nature. You want to be happy. You want to laugh. Stay humble, but be proud of what you do. Don't act like you're better than everybody else. Nobody wants to learn from you if you act like you're better than everybody else. If you are humble, but show that you're proud, like Rob Legato did with all his behind the scenes footage and the things he said he was proud of, he accomplished, but then he'd crack a joke and knock himself down a peg. It was great the way he did it, and it made me respect him more as a person. Use visual aids. Every time you use a visual aid, they have to look. They have to pay more attention. They have to send their vision your way even more. So it pulls their attention, even if they're checking their phone or something, it pulls their attention up. Oh, he's showing something. Okay, look at it. You know what I mean? It's just such a big help. Rob Legato did this the best out of all my TED Talks. 75% of his presentation was all him narrating behind the scenes footage at 2, 3, 6, 7, 11, and 13 minutes. At all those intervals, he was showing new behind the scenes footage from 3 different films, and it was amazing hearing him. As a filmmaker, it was amazing hearing how he did the things he did. Appearance. No one wants to see a messy, disheveled person giving them if you can't, if you have dirty clothes and you're all, dirty and you look like you haven't shaved for a week, which, I mean, you can tell. I've shaved, I've trimmed, I have a beard, But it's different, if you don't look kept clean, you're not going to keep an audience attention. They're not going to want to even look at you. Speak clear and loud, because if nobody can hear you, nobody wants to listen. If they can't understand what you're saying because you're mumbling, they don't want to listen. Keep it simple. Don't just use a bunch of big words because you want to impress people. If they can't understand what you're saying, you're not going to give a crap what you're saying. They can't understand you. They don't know what you're talking about. They're going to tune you out. Last but not least, don't just read it, know it. Have cue cards or whatever for reminders, but don't just read them. Glance at them, make eye contact, glance at them, make eye contact, get a reminder of what you need, and then keep eye contact with your audience. And no matter what artist you are, I recommend you check out these TED Talks. I mean, they're amazing. The first one, again, was Elizabeth Gilbert, Your Elusive Creative Genius. It's very good. Rob Legato, The Art of Creating Awe. Another very good one. And then for the parents and soon-to-be parents or hopeful parents, Rufus Griscom and Alyssa Volkman, Let's Talk Parenting Taboos. Check them all out, guys. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.